What's up, legends? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're back on Black Ops 6 Zombies. We're jumping into Reckoning, and I'm going to be sharing with you guys how you can get access to the Aether Blade by round 10. Now, a couple things you need to know before you jump into it. You will need access to Mr. Peaks, as that field upgrade is required to actually complete the steps for this side quest. Now, once you actually have access to that by completing enough XP through the new event, the 90s Action Hero event, you guys will then be able to be prepared to actually grab this Aether Blade. Now, the steps for this are actually pretty straightforward. They're easy. It's as simple as grabbing a few paintings, which I'll dial you guys in on, and then getting access to a save key, using the Mr. Peaks, and basically getting access. But that is not as easy as it sounds, because there is actually a little mini boss, essentially a disciple that you're going to have to take care of, which is going to cause you a little bit of issues if you try to do this too early. But again, I have figured out the strategy for you guys, so I'm going to share with you how you guys can easily get access to the Aether Blade, like I said, by round 10. So the first step is, once you actually go in, highly recommend turning on the Rampage Inducer, and I'm going to assume for this run specifically that you're going to be using the Maelstrom. It is one of the more popular weapons to be using for this map, for the boss fights, etc. So I'm going to assume that you guys will be using that. You are going to need to get this thing Pack-a-Punched, and you will need at least uncommon rarity. So my recommendation is jump in, turn the Rampage Inducer on, go to like round 7, 8, push the limits for sure. You're going to need at least like 15k to make it to Pack-a-Punch and actually Pack-a-Punch your weapon. And you will need to open up Pack-a-Punch, turn on the power to get access to the areas that you need to get all the paintings. And you, of course, need all the paintings to be able to do this. So once you're actually ready to go, you have the currency that you need. You're going to start heading to Pack-a-Punch, and you're going to be going through the mutant research, then taking the gravity teleporter, whatever you guys want to call those, across the way to Android Assembly. Now, the second you get over to Android Assembly, to the left, there's going to be like a pillar there with like a wet floor sign leaned up against it. There's going to be one of the paintings there. You're going to want to go ahead and grab it, and then continue forward all the way to power. Now, when you get into the directors/executive suite, there is going to be a room with the arsenal machine in it where one of the teleporters is. On the wall, you will be able to place that painting that you grabbed, and then you'll be able to head into the teleporter to go to Pack-a-Punch. The second you get into that area where Pack-a-Punch is, on the left, behind a little box there, or just essentially against, kind of near where the laser is going to be your second painting that you'll need to grab. Then you can go ahead and turn on the power, shoot all the crystals, get access to Pack-a-Punch that Maelstrom then, and then you can actually return back to where you were putting the first painting down near the arsenal machine in the executive area, and go ahead and place the second painting down. Now, there is one more painting that you're going to need to grab, and now that you have the power on, you'll be able to go ahead and do that. You'll need to head back to the spawn room. You can take the teleporter there if you would like, and you're going to need to go into that room that now is open, or the other teleporter near where spawn is, near the metal detectors, is now available. And in there, behind one of the doors, is your final painting that you're going to need to grab, and you're going to return that near the arsenal machine, place that on the wall. Each of these will give you like 500 essence as well. And once all 3 paintings are placed down, you should be good to go as far as the paintings are concerned. And at this point, you should be at least on round 8, maybe even round 9, depending on how your run has gone so far. Your Maelstrom should be Pack-a-Punch level 1. Hopefully you have enough points. You're going to head over to Android Assembly and get yourself double tap. Now, the last thing that you're going to need to do is go ahead and use 1,000 salvage to get yourself an RCXD. You're going to take the RCXD over to near where the Forsaken is, down on the second lower level, I guess you call it, the lower level, essentially next to where Klaus is, and takes you to do the trial for the main quest Easter egg. There's going to be a little hole that you're going to drive the RCXD in, and you're going to be able to drive it around the backside until you see a Forsaken crystal, or just an Ethereum crystal, whatever you want to refer to it as. You're going to blow up the RCXD on that Ethereum crystal. It's going to give you a Casimir-like effect. You're going to go back up the stairs to the backside of where the Forsaken is. You will then see that Casimir-like effect taking place, and there will be some Ethereum crystals that start popping up on the wall. You're going to continue shooting them, shoot all of them. The final one will give you the safe key. You will get quite a bit of salvage there as well. Hopefully, it'll give you enough to be able to get that uncommon rarity that we were talking about. Then at this point, you should at least be uncommon rarity. You should have double tap, and you should be Pack-a-Punch level 1 with the Maelstrom. Now you also have the safe key, so what you're going to want to do is head back over to the director's quarters where you actually hit the button to open up the Pack-a-Punch teleporter. And on the wall right next to that teleporter is a painting that you're going to want to use Mr. Peaks field upgrade on. Now, by the time you get to round 8 or 9, you should have more than enough salvage to do all these steps. You should have your field upgrade built up as long as you haven't used it. Once you use the Mr. Peaks, the painting will knock off the wall. You'll then be able to use the safe key to open up the safe. And as soon as you do so, it will start a little encounter that eventually will lead to a disciple popping up in this area. Now, the moment that the disciple actually pops up, you're going to want to head back over to the Forsaken area as quickly as possible. And near where the elevator is, I guess to the right, if you come out of the elevator from Android Assembly, is going to be a window. In the top left of that, on top of the server rack, is going to be the insta-kill power-up that you're going to want to shoot. You're going to grab the insta-kill, and you're going to take off running back to that Disciple over in Directors. The second you get back over the gravitational teleporter, the Disciple should be within that area right next to Jug. Should be able to pile drive this thing with your double tap Maelstrom that is pack 1 and uncommon. And hopefully, before the insta-kill even ends, you will be able to destroy that Disciple, make your way back over to the safe, and get access to the Aether Blade by or before round 10. Now, hopefully this guide will help you guys on your journey. Hopefully it simplifies things a little bit. Obviously, you guys could wait a little bit longer and then get access to it then. But for those of you that are interested in getting in as soon as possible or just want to utilize this strategy to get access to it at a much earlier round, hopefully this will help you on that journey. Now, that's going to wrap things up for us here. Thank you guys for all the support in today's video, all support in the channel. Look forward to seeing y'all in the next one. Peace!